Right, so in the class that some of us did last week, we looked at a song by the Rolling Stones called You Can't Always Get What You Want. We've also looked at a song by the Cranberries called Zombie. And in both of those songs we've used a chord which is called C. And it looks something like this. Remembering the way that we figure out what we're playing, our first finger wants to go on the first fret of the second string. So we count the strings from thinnest to thickest. So we're on the first fret here because the nut is fret 0. So this is fret 1. And then if this is the first string, the second string is here. So our first finger goes on the first fret of the second string. And that's going to give us this sound. Behind the metal. That's the sound you want to hear. Our second finger is going to go on the second fret of the fourth string. So we go 0, 1, 2, and then we want to be on the fourth string, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to give us this sound. Our third finger is going to go on the third fret of the fifth string. So that would be 0, 1, 2, 3. And then we go on to the fifth string, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that gives us this note. So let's put all of that together. Our first finger goes on the first fret of the second string, here. Our second finger goes on the second fret of the fourth string, here. And the third finger goes on the third fret of the fifth string, here. And those notes, to play C, you don't play the sixth string at all. You don't play that. So we're only going to sound these last 5 strings. So play each string individually to make sure it sounds right, and it's going to sound something like this. And the whole chord sounds like this. You might find this a bit of a stretch at first. If you do, try and play without using your first finger. So you just use the notes for your second and third finger, and you'll get a chord called C major 7th, which sounds like this. Can you hear the difference? The difference is this note from C becomes this. So the difference is C, C major 7th. If you start with that chord, you can get your fingers used to stretching here and then move up to C when you're ready. Making sure all the strings sound correctly. Again, if you're playing it not quite right, like, feel when you play each string individually, feel with your left hand, what are you doing? Are you touching strings you shouldn't be touching? Are your fingers in the right place? Are you playing behind the metal? You'll be able to feel it when you play each string on its own. And then once you can get the sound correct, then play it as a chord. If you're too far this way, maybe you just need to bring your hand round a bit. The more you can keep your fingers vertically onto the strings, the less likely you are to touch other strings with your fingers, or to have your hand come onto the last few strings. So you'll get a nice clean sound. that's a C chord.